Sausage Cat Productions presents The Plague, an audiobook, musical and visual experience. This is episode 1. Every love story begins somewhere. For Eli and Amara, it began not with a grand gesture or a sweeping declaration, but with something quieter, smaller. The kind of moment most people would overlook. Eli was 24, the kind of young man who seemed caught between boyhood and adulthood, unsure which fit better. He carried himself with a quiet sort of energy, shoulders slightly hunched, as though he didn't want to take up more space than he should. His hair was dark, unruly in a way that suggested he either hadn't combed it or had tried and given up. His smile, though, was unguarded and immediate. The sort of smile that gave him away before his words ever could. When he laughed, his whole face joined in, eyes squinting, jaw relaxing, something open and disarming that drew people to him without him noticing. He was easy to read, even when he tried not to be. Amara walked beside him, her presence steady where his was restless. She was a little shorter than him, with long lines of confidence in the way she held her shoulders. But her expressions betrayed every thought that flickered through her mind. Her eyes were sharp, always searching. The kind of eyes that noticed when someone across the street stumbled, or when Eli fidgeted with his sleeve. And yet, when she looked at him, the sharpness melted into something warm, a softness that she never gave the rest of the world so freely. Her smile didn't come as quickly as his, but when it did, it felt deliberate. A gift she offered, not something spilled carelessly. Together they looked like balance. Eli's energy leaning into Amara's steadiness. Amara's quiet certainty grounding Eli's scattered ease. Side by side, their differences didn't clash. They completed the rhythm. That night, they carried with them the lingering warmth of Eli's parents' dinner table. 10 minutes ago, they had stepped out into the city streets, still laughing at jokes they hadn't quite finished telling. Now, under the patient glow of the streetlights, the city pressed around them. The low hum of traffic, the faint scent of rain on pavement, the occasional laughter of strangers drifting past. And yet, for Eli and Amara, the world felt like it had narrowed to just this. The slow pace of their steps, the brush of her shoulder against his arm, the unspoken comfort of walking nowhere in particular, together.
All right, be honest. My parents didn't scare you off too bad, right?
He glanced sideways as he asked, his grin tugging at the corner of his mouth. His words were playful, but his eyes searched her face for reassurance, as though part of him feared the answer.
Scare me, please. Your mom practically tried to adopt me. I don't think she let go of my hand for 20 minutes.
A laughter lifted her chin, brightening her whole expression. She shook her head, a strand of hair falling across her cheek, and brushed it back with a flick of her fingers.
Yeah, that's kind of her thing. My dad liked you, though. Did you notice he gave you the good chair? He never even lets me sit there.
He widened his eyes, the emphasis, his voice dripping with mock outrage. His hand slipped from his pocket, gesturing loosely as though to underscore the betrayal.
So what you're saying is, I outrank you in your own family?
She tilted her head, lips curling into a sly smile. Her eyes gleamed with amusement, the teasing sharp enough to make him laugh before he even responded.
Way past outrank. You might be running the whole operation now.
Their laughter rose together, then ebbed naturally into silence. The kind of silence that didn't need filling. Their footsteps matched in rhythm, steady as a heartbeat.
You know, I've been thinking. Maybe it's time we stop just visiting each other's parents. Maybe it's time we made a place of our own.
Her voice dropped slightly, her words careful. She looked at him sidelong, then away again quickly, as if afraid her suggestion might unravel the easy mood. Her hands, tucked into the sleeves of her sweater, twisted at the cuffs.
You mean move in?
He slowed without realizing, his head turning toward her. For a moment, his brows lifted, but then his expression softened, eyes warming as though the idea had been waiting for him all along.
Yeah, why not? I'm already at your place half the week, and you've basically colonized my fridge.
Her smile tugged at the corner of her mouth, crooked and hesitant, her teeth catching her bottom lip before she released it again.
Hey, guilty, but I like that idea. A lot.
Really?
Amara, I can't imagine waking up anywhere you aren't. If moving in means more mornings with you, then yes, let's do it.
The words hung in the air like something precious. Amara's gaze lifted to meet his, searching for any flicker of doubt. When she found none, her face softened, and she caught his hand, weaving her fingers through his.
Still surprises me, like sunlight through the rain.
I carry little pieces
of every word you say.
Your name feels like forever,
like stars that never fade.
don't need a compass, I know the way. Home isn't walls, home isn't rooms, home is a heartbeat that beats next to you.
If the world should change, we're too young,
maybe too fast.
or maybe we found the thing that lasts.
What if the ground gives way? Then we'll hold tighter day by day. Home isn't walls, home isn't rooms, home is a heartbeat that beats next to you.
If tomorrow comes,
If the skies stay true, home isn't somewhere, home is you.
When the song in their hearts faded, they didn't pull apart. Amara leaned her head against Eli's shoulder, her smile lingering in a way that suggested she believed, just for a moment, that happiness might actually last. Eli lowered his cheek to her hair and closed his eyes, breathing in the quiet certainty of her nearness. They kissed once, then again, laughed softly, and kissed once more, as if repetition might hold the moment still. Around them the city kept on, the hum of engines, the call of voices down side streets. But to Eli and Amara, none of it mattered. Their world had shrunk down to a single hand held tight, a promise unspoken but understood. But the night did not pause to honor their happiness. The world kept moving, footsteps on the pavement, traffic sighing at the lights, strangers brushing past on their own errands. And so Eli and Amara walked on, side by side, carrying the fragile glow of new promises as they turned toward her apartment, only a few blocks away. Their footsteps resumed, light and steady, winding through streets that were slowly quieter now that the late hour pressed in. Amara glanced at Eli, her eyes crinkling with amusement.
So, if we do this, move in together, do we start with your couch or mine?
Eli's grin stretched wide, crinkling the corner of his eyes. He leaned slightly toward her, shoulders relaxed but eyes attentive, watching for her reaction.
Definitely mine. Yours has a personal vendetta against my back.
Amara laughed, tilting her head back just a fraction, the loose strands of her hair catching the glow of the street lights. She nudged him lightly with her elbow, playful but affectionate.
Fair. But your kitchen barely fits two people. You've seen me try to cook in there. It's like a combat sport.
He smirked, a teasing glint in his eyes, shoulders shifting as if to brace for the imagined chaos of her culinary attempts.
Who says we even need a kitchen? We'll live off takeout. Pizza, noodles, tacos. Endless cycle.
Romantic and nutritious.
They laughed together, the sound spilling between them and fading into the city night. Their steps slowed, comfortable in each other's company. Amara's hand brushed against his arm, a touch casual enough to seem accidental, but Eli felt it nonetheless, and his grip tightened slightly, a subtle anchor in the calm. Suddenly, the night fractured. Every phone in the city erupted at once. A harsh vibration, a shrill tone that cut through conversations and footsteps alike. People froze, eyes glued to glowing screens. A man muttered, half in disbelief, half panic. A woman whispered urgently to her companion, clutching her phone like a lifeline. The news reports were fragmented, chaotic, impossible to piece together. Eli and Amara could hear them colliding in the streets, snippets of alerts and people talking aloud. Amara froze, gripping Eli's arm. Her playful smile had vanished, replaced by a frown.
That's everyone's phone. Did you?
Yeah, me too. This is a national emergency alert. Please remain indoors. Do not attempt to travel.
That's dramatic.
Eli tightened his hand around Amara's. She gripped his arm, her knuckles white. Every voice, every alert seemed to contradict the next. One phone flashed a map with areas marked in red. Another warned of fleeing crowds. Somewhere a stranger shouted,
"Lock your doors, don't go outside."
And yet another voice insisted it was just a glitch, a system test gone wrong. The city itself felt unmoored. Sirens echoed in the distance, punctuating the fragmented chorus of voices. Glass tinkled somewhere nearby. People surged past, running in opposite directions, phones held high, faces pale with fear. The meaning of it all was impossible to grasp. Was it violence, a disease, an attack, or some nightmarish combination? No one knew. Everyone panicked.
Eli, what's happening?
I don't know. We'll just stay together. Keep moving. We'll get to your place.
And so they pushed through the panic, weaving between frozen bodies, fleeing crowds, and the endless chorus of alarms. Each step a promise. I'll get you there, no matter what this is. Eli and Amara pressed forward, their steps quickening, but the city itself seemed to resist them. Strangers surged past in panicked waves, some sprinting towards side streets, others frozen, rooted in disbelief. The glow of phones lit up pale faces, reflecting fear in every shape it could take. Wide eyes, clenched jaws, trembling lips. And beneath it all, the ordinary sounds of the city had shifted into something alien. The rhythm of footsteps was uneven now, frantic. Sirens were multiplying in the distance. A glass bottle shattered near the curb. Someone screamed, high and piercing, though no one seemed to know why. Amara's breath hitched as she clung tighter to Eli's arm. His own jaw set hard, his chest rising and falling with the effort to stay steady. For her, if not for himself. Written and produced by Sausage Cat Productions. Text-to-speech generated by 11 Labs. AI. Images and video generated by Vio and getiming.ai. Visual layout completed with Vitma. Music generated by Suno. Sound design by Sausage Cat Productions.